Once again, we're back reading some more Fedora Tip and Neckbeard tales, and I'm so excited. Honestly, probably couldn't get more excited for this. It's just always a fun time. It's super consistent. Neckbeards are always horrifying, and that's what I like about them. I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's get straight into it. Enjoy, guys. A neckbeard wouldn't let me leave a Japanese store. I have quite a few neckbeard stories as I'm a nerdy, decent looking girl, and here's one of them. Sometimes I visit a Japanese store in the capital of my country. The owner is Japanese and gets the products himself. A super sweet guy. It's small and has a lot of anime stuff like figurines and posters. Also a lot of Japanese sweets. I like going there because I love anime, the sweets, and the owner. I was visiting the capital, so I decided to go there again. The owner contacted me about a figurine they'd gotten that I'd asked about. Once I got there, I went straight to see the figurine. And that's when someone enters the store. He looked normal, a skinny dude that had long greasy hair. He smelled a bit weird, but not awful. Definitely a smell I could notice the whole time though. That's when he noticed me and came up to me. Our dear beard said to me, "You like anime too?" And I answered yes. And I was actually getting this expensive Raftalia figurine. He got a bit excited and started asking me my favorite animes and such. I didn't think anything of it at first because it seemed like he just wanted a friend. After talking a while about useless things, he started to compliment me with calling me kawaii. Innocent, sweetie, hot, or beautiful. I told him not to because I was not comfortable with it. He didn't care. That's when he asked me if I wanted to go on a date with him right at that moment. I kindly said no thank you, and I told him that I had to leave. I put the figurine back and I tried to leave. He kept blocking the door and trying to hug me while saying that I just can't leave him and I should at least give him my Snapchat. He said that he deserved it and that I'd been so nice to him and I was leading him on. I said no and that I really had to go, but he didn't care. He was clearly starting to get annoyed at me. It did scare me a bit. Thank God for my Lord and Savior, the store owner. He ran the store alone, but he was getting something from the back while this was going on. He doesn't speak my native language and has poor English skills, but he started yelling at the beard to get out and leave angrily. The beard fought back for a moment, but finally left. I thanked the owner and I ended up buying the figurine and some other stuff. I used well over 300 euros that day, haha. The owner deserved it though. This wasn't as bad as some other stories, but I definitely think it belongs here. I have a few other stories if anybody's interested. I also have one story on Tales of Neckbeards, but it's pretty deep and dark, so if you're gonna read it, be prepared to get angry. Thank you for reading. Wow, so you're leading them on because you had a conversation with them? That's hilarious, but also bloody horrifying at the same time. If they think like this, they must think that every single woman they talk to ever is also leading them on just by talking to them. You showed me common courtesy and you talked to me and you looked at me in the eyes. Come on, stop leading me on. What an awful attitude. I've never met a female in CSGO before. Okay, so this is a 5-year-old story and it definitely rings a bell, but I don't know if I've read this one before. I sort of scanned over this a bit and I don't think I've read it, but at the same time, I'm sorry if I have, guys. I like playing CSGO. Usually my profile picture is a character from a movie or TV show, and my name is very generic. You would never think I was a girl based off my picture and name because I don't ask for that sort of attention. I was playing Deathmatch with my internet best friend Derek at an ungodly time of night, just talking about our thoughts and morals over voice chat. The server had 7 people in it, and everyone would throw their 2 cents in with our conversation. It was pleasant and much needed. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Everyone was kind and respectful, something that you hardly see on this game. One person had no microphone and only talked to us via chat. He told Derek and I've never wanted to be friends with someone over this game before so bad. Will you guys add me? I promise I'll have a mic tomorrow. I was a lonely person back then, so I accepted his friend request. His name was Corey. Derek and I played CSGO Deathmatch nightly, just talking about all sorts of things. For 4 days straight, Corey would join us without an invite. We found it odd that he would join us because he mentioned how strict he is with himself about being on a tight schedule and how dedicated he is for school. Because of this, we never invited him to our games, which funny enough, Corey got upset that we didn't invite him to death matches, even though he told us that he was focused on school and we only played late at night. One day or another, Corey got the impression that Derek and I were dating. Despite Derek talking about his girlfriend at least once a day, I told Corey, yes, we are obviously dating because a male and a female can never just be friends. My voice was as flat as I could make it sound and as bland as I could try. Corey did not understand my sarcasm and run with the thought that Derek and I were dating. Immediately, Corey tried his best to win over Derek by buying him in-game valuables, case keys, and a few skins worth real money. Every time Corey would give Derek these things, Corey would tell him, you better be treating her right, otherwise you'll pay for it. Derek is a nice guy and has a hard time with confrontation, so he never replied to those messages. He would only read relay them back to me. After 2 days of getting these gifts, I told Corey while in Deathmatch, "You do realise I was sarcastic with you when you asked if Derek and I were dating, right? Derek has a girlfriend and she doesn't play video games." Corey's voice immediately goes into a much calmer voice during this game and does not stop saying, "Oh, thank God, thank you, Lord Almighty. You have blessed my life, thank you." Random people would tell him to stop talking and that he's being creepy. I didn't say anything to Corey for a while after that because despite being over the internet, I felt an awkward connection with him. The following day, day 7 of knowing Corey, he asked me to join him in a private game. I have immense anxiety with being alone with someone no matter the circumstance. I simply tell Corey, "No thank you, but thank you for the offer." Corey tries to call me over voice, and I get a weird nervous feeling. I knew something was odd about this random voice call request. I checked on his profile and he edited his entire profile to fit a 2008 emo MySpace account. He changed his profile from Harambe to rain on a window, and his bio from "I inject memes for Harambe." Okay, we have not read this, to "My life is meaningless without her." Oh my god. He explains to me that he wanted to play a private game with me just so he could plan a meetup with me and go get some coffee. He could tell where I live because I told Derek and Corey about the Seattle superhero that I ran into a while back. But that was only the beginning of the creepy things he'd say to me. At one point he said, "Your voice makes me trust you." That made my skin crawl. Another time in the middle of a match he said in front of everyone, "Is your body as smooth as your voice?" Oh god. "You sound like a goddess on cake." That made me almost vomit. A few more examples include, "You make me just want to snuggle up on my bed and go to sleep," in a cutesy tone, or saying "TIHI" out loud instead of just laughing. But whenever he said something creepy, I just ignore it or awkwardly say, "Thank you, my dude." It felt as if he practiced for hours just to say these lines to me. Just unnatural. Wait, have you ever seen each other before? Or is this all just a voice chat sort of thing? Like, oh my god, they talk to one woman and they're immediately in love with them just because they had a conversation. I knew this guy didn't talk to any other females because he told me so. Girls in real life just find me creepy and whenever I approach them, they ignore me, is what he said, something I should have spotted as a red flag. One day he tries to send out a call request that I end up hitting ignore on. I message him and I say, "What's up? Everything okay?" He only replies with, "Not even close." I had no clue what to respond with, so I just waited for a follow-up message. 10 minutes pass by and he spams me with personal questions. What kind of males are you into? Do you only date tall, skinny men? Do you care what other people think? I oddly feel guilty and I feel obligated to reply with honest answers. I tell him I care to an extent of what people look like. As long as they take care of themselves, I shouldn't care less what my friends look like. I don't really have a unique type. I just want a healthy looking guy, regardless of height. Why do you ask? He describes to me what he looks like, followed by a total of 10 photos. I never asked for a picture of him. It never even crossed my mind to ask him what he looks like. He asked me all sorts of questions related to, am I attractive enough? Am I too skinny? Too short? Do I have good hair? I tell him, you look nice. He was very skinny, average height, and looked like he took care of himself. A very normal looking human being. He replies, "Thank you, you're so sweet, such a lovely girl." I don't message him back and I just start CSGO because Derek was playing. We play our game of Deathmatch and we talk about the normal stuff. We make friendly talk with a complete stranger and at the peak of it, Corey joins. Corey says nothing at all while we're all playing. I don't have notifications on when I play, so I have to manually check my messages while I'm in a game. During map change, I realized I got flooded by Corey asking, "Do you find this guy attractive? Does he sound hot to you? Is he funnier than me?" I ignore his messages and I keep on playing. I did not want to deal with that from him. I only knew him for 2 weeks at this point. Corey notices I'm ignoring his messages and he confronts me in front of this server of 20 people. "Why aren't you replying back to me in Steam?" I tell him I don't have notifications on. I'm too busy playing a game to want to hold a conversation while playing a game. Corey goes on this rant about, "I thought we were friends. Why would you ignore me? Friends don't ignore each other." And I don't respond to him. This is all over voice so everyone can hear him. I'm clearly uncomfortable and a random player tells Corey, "She clearly doesn't want to respond to your weird messages." Corey screams at the top of his lungs to this guy, "To go and end yourself, you useless human being. You don't know her like I do." And then he leaves. Derek and I keep playing our game, ignoring our messages. After an hour, we get off the game and I open my messages. From Corey, I get a roller coaster of messages and feelings ranging from from "I'm so sorry I screamed, you didn't need to hear that side of me," to "how freaking dare you ignore me," I reply with "you're taking this friendship pretty fast. I think you should just calm down and take a break. The deepest thing I know about you is your name and your favorite meme." He replies, "You're right, good night." I was hoping that maybe for once that would be the end of it and he would actually listen. I couldn't be more wrong. The following day, I woke up to my Steam app being spam from Corey. "I need you. I'm at the hospital." A few things I noticed. He was on Steam via web browser. Your name will have a web browser icon if you're logged in through your web browser and not Steam or on a phone. Something else I noticed, he said that he was on his phone. If this was actually true, it would have had a mobile icon next to his name. I knew he didn't have a phone because he told me I broke mine last month when I threw it against the wall. I remembered that because I think odd of people who destroy things in moments of anger. I don't mention either of these things to Corey. I figured that he was lying because he was in the heat of a moment and was too scared to tell me the truth. I asked him why he's there and his response was, "I don't know, I was puking blood all last night for 8 hours and my mum and dad took me here. I'm so scared." Again, I was naive and I let that slip. I found it odd that his parents would wait so many hours to take him to the hospital while he's puking blood. I didn't tell Corey of my suspicion though. I wanted to see where this was going. I assure him, "You'll be fine, I'm sure of it." He said without a minute passing, "My parents are talking with the doctor right now and they're crying. I don't know what's going on." I asked her, "Why aren't you in there with them?" He tells me he's going into the room, but he was stopped by a security officer who told him, "I'm sorry, but we don't think you're ready for the news just yet. Have a seat." I play dumb and I don't question his BS story. I reply, "It won't do you good to get too worried about something that you can't control." He spams me with broken sentences such as, "INSP scared right now, please help me." I understand when people are crying it can be hard to see what you're typing, but he told me many times before, "I've been hurt so bad before, I can't even cry. I didn't even cry when my brother died." Also, he was typing perfectly clear and readable before and after this message. Again, I didn't even question his story. He quickly tells me, "Oh my god, they just told me I have cancer." I respond with, "Didn't you just get to the hospital a few hours ago?" He replies, "Yes, it's stage 4 skin cancer." I didn't let him know that I thought he was lying and was currently laughing. I opened Corey's messages back up to find him explaining to me how he got his skin cancer. He apparently got it from a mole on his chest that he had to get cut off because it was in the way, and it got infected with cancer. I didn't think this lie could get any worse, so I confessed to him I know he's lying. I expressed how disgusting it is to lie about having cancer, and that my adopted mother died of cancer herself. He rushes his response to, "Oh my god, I had no idea, I'm so sorry. The reason I lied to you was because I'm actually sick with something else. I actually have type 1 diabetes. I lied because I don't want you to think I was fat." I asked him if he remembers sending me pictures of himself, and he said he remembers, but he was worried that I still thought he was fat. He probably weighed at most 120. I cut off contact with this guy on everything the same day. Roughly 6 months after deleting Corey, I ran into him in real life. I knew it was him because his voice is unique and distinct. Corey never saw what I look like, and I never sent him pictures or posted on my Instagram. I knew it was Corey, and he looked the same as he did in the photos. This was during Seattle Street Fair, but I never thought I'd run into the guy. I'm glad he didn't recognize me. I have no idea what I would have done if he did. Oh my god, that was meant to be. Like, imagine if they did recognize you. Oh, that's so awful. And such an adventure to read. That was so immersive. I got completely lost in that. Yeah, well, that was terrifying, and it's so awesome that that was the end of it. Well, hopefully it was the end of it. The next one is called Adventures at Anime Con. Can I touch your mecha boobs? Hot diggity dog. I just found this subreddit and I've got a zinger. You've got a zinger? It's probably cheating if it's at an anime convention, but the experience I had was the usual but 10 times amplified. So my girlfriend used to love cosplay and then go to cons to showcase them. Operative words being used to. She was usually conservative and didn't show much skin, more out of habit than morals, but I suggested that she should try on something a little bit more revealing for the upcoming local convention, because why not try out something new? She agreed, and after much deciding, we ordered a Playboy bunny outfit themed to Diva from Overwatch. What a great idea. So we're at the con now and she's dressed up like a centerfold with creepy sweaty dudes practically groping everything with their eyes, all lolling about. Sometimes we'd split up to see different things, and whenever I'd meet back up with her, I kid you not, the air around me would get at least 10 degrees Fahrenheit warmer. Probably the collective blood rushing to all the dudes' heads around us. And then the fun part starts. Some bony dude out in the crowd passes us and he says loudly, "I would revive you anytime, Diva," or something. It was innocent enough and she did laugh at it, but to the rest of the sweaty virgins in the herd, it signaled us only one thing: you could talk to her. And then, like vultures to their dying prey, they surrounded and circled us, eagerly waiting for their chance to give their flirt, poorly disguised as a crappy pun or an inside joke. Blast me with a self-destruct. Those aren't micro missiles. Blizzard can't nerf nerf that. Each statement became more cringy and less clever. We were getting increasingly and incredibly uncomfortable. We took one look at each other and we knew we had the same thought. We had to get her out of that ASAP. There was just one problem. We were smack dab in the middle of the floor, and the long road home was filled with the likes of greasy fingers, horrible breath, and a lack of understanding of personal space. Because she always wore less revealing clothes, we had no experience with this and thus were solely underprepared for the journey ahead. The people around us constricted and strangled our route, as if some of these gross dudes wanted to accidentally brush up against her. To deter that, I walked closely in front of her to split up the open sea of weebs for a safe passage, but my physical body couldn't block the mental anguish that was these weirdos hitting on her, despite the very clear physical signs that we were dating. Finally, we're but a few steps from the convention center, a few hops out of the toxic salty air. I can see the natural light. My hope is quickly dashed at this ogre of a man that waddles through the door to go inside, at least 6 feet and 3 inches tall and 350 pounds. This gargantuan, who smelled like a rotten onion that had a beard covering his whole neck, blocked my way like the final boss of this great journey. There are stains in his shirt that features a bunch of anime girls, ultimate diddlying, Diva among them. He eyes my girlfriend up and down and then utters the words I can never forget. Hey Diva, can I touch your mecha boobs? Mother flipper didn't even deliver it without stammering. She was mortified. This was almost the straw that broke the camel's back for me. I held back the urge to deck the guy and simply walk around him, making sure to keep her as far away as possible from the dude. He just stares at me with this snide as hell smile on his face, like if you weren't here I'd be her gentleman right now. Outside, we rush back into the hotel room and get her changed out of it right away. We didn't go back and haven't been to a con since that terrifying debacle. These days we like to laugh about it and bring it up as the Mecca incident, but back then our fear was as palpable in the air as the desperate horniness of everyone around us in a 45-foot radius. 1 out of 10, the food was kind of alright, and the security that was supposed to respond to inappropriate conduct was a literal joke. Would not recommend. You've never been to an anime convention or something like that, and I'm sure they can be amazing, but from the stuff that we've read about some of them, they can also be bloody horrifying. Like, yeah, what an awful experience this would have been. I wasn't gonna read another story, but I feel like we should read one more. This one's called Japanese Girls Would Like That Jumper Too. I was shopping for groceries in the supermarket. I'm quite short, so I had to climb on the rack to reach for lettuce, and then I smelled some body odor next to me. I turned around and this lovely gentleman smiled to me and offered to get the lettuce from the high shelf for me. He looked like a typical neckbeard, trilby, overweight, black Metallica shirt, and of course the unshaved beard in the neck. I gladly accepted his offer. This was really nice of him. I thanked him and proceeded. I decided to bake cookies that evening and I gathered some ingredients when I smelled him again behind me. Are you going to bake something tonight? Yeah, I was thinking about cookies. Can I come over? You'll have to thank me for the lettuce. Yeah, I don't think my boyfriend would like me taking home dudes to our place. Smiling, hint hint. He walks away for a minute and then comes back. You know, I don't think he's right for you. Why is he not here to help you with grocery shopping? Does he even respect you? Imagine somebody genuinely saying something like this. Well, yeah, luckily you were there to help me. Thanks again. I try to laugh it off. I wave him goodbye and I proceed to the pasta aisle. There I meet him again. At first I thought he pointed at my boobs, but he was pointing at my jumper with a big cute penguin on it. You know, I really like your jumper. Thank you. Japanese girls would like that jumper too. They like cute stuff. Do you like Japanese stuff? It's alright. I think you would like it. How about I show you some? Are you free tonight? No. You can bake at my place. I have an oven. No, I'm going home. Come on, you should give me a chance. You know I'm nice. No one else was helping you just now. I'm going home now. Have a nice evening. Oh, I guess women don't like romantic guys anymore. Luckily he gave up there. I got a little uncomfortable when he wouldn't leave me alone. Yeah, I bet you did. That's bloody awful. Oh, I grabbed a lettuce for you off a shelf, so now you need to pay me back for that good deed? No, dude. Oh, how about you come and bake at my place? No. And none of this is romantic. It's like nice guys, you know, they're not nice unless they're trying to get something in return, which isn't very nice, and I feel like that's enough for today. What a beautifully terrifying episode. I hope you had a wonderful time today, guys, but we've got to read something wholesome so soon. Oh my god, what am I looking at? POV, you told your roommate to watch your dog and you come home to this tomfoolery. Yeah, and that's tomfoolery if ever I've seen it. That's bloody hilarious. That dog is so cute. Look at me, I'm in the sky. Absolute tomfoolery. My 3-year-old said goodnight to all of us tonight, and then in the dark I heard her little voice say, good night myself. I love you. Pause. I love you too. Oh, that's so nice, and I feel like we can all learn from this. Good night myself. I love you. That's so awesome. Cat guides a lost hiker down a mountain in Switzerland because that's what heroes do. I swear, every single day cats get even more amazing. They even help help lost people get down mountains? What did we do to deserve this? A snack surfing robot in China is upset with me because I didn't take any snacks. Oh, they're crying. They're so sad. Come on, take some snacks. You don't want to see me cry. And once again, thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful time. And if you want to see more terrifying neckbeard stories, make sure you like and subscribe. And the comment of the day today goes to Everett W9610. Vincy every time he starts one of these episodes. Yeah, I just love reading this subreddit so much. It's so fun. Also, Vincy every time the video's done. Wow, that was horrible. Not a criticism. I think it's kind of silly and wholesome. Yeah, 100%. And silly wholesomeness is the entire point of this channel. Like, where would we be without some silly wholesomeness? No, but that's so true. They're so horrifying, but they're so addictive and they're so fun. Like, yeah, the stuff that we read can be infuriating or revolting, but it's pretty hard to stop reading it. I'm just happy that you guys enjoy watching it. And yeah, let's do it again tomorrow, shall we? Make sure you look after yourself and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. And you know what I'm about to say because I say it every single day. Bye!